what's interesting is, if you remember, there was a huge report that came out in late August from MIT. It was a study that said 95% of AI pilots are failing. When they dig into that report, one of the top 3 reasons was picking the wrong use case.
Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of ZAPTALK. And as always, we're actually joined by the one and only Alex Zapp. Welcome, Alex.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Costa. How's it going, guys? Thanks for joining us today.
Awesome. And we have an industry expert with us today as well, really going to help us push Alex to the limit. We have Costa joining us. Hey, Costa, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Great to have you. So, I've heard of you for a while, Costa, but for the folks that don't know, maybe a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so I started out as a developer in the early 90s and crossed over into test automation through performance testing. Grew my career at various, Fortune 500 companies as QA manager, QA director, different escalating levels of responsibility. That was the first 15 years of my career. So I've been in the game over 30 years now. The last 15 years have been exclusively on the consulting side. So working for companies like Capgemini, and currently I work as a leader for EPAM systems. But along the way, I also had a solution which Alex is familiar with. So I did have a small sidestep into running a product company that I founded called Mobile Labs. So that launched me kind of into this space as a thought leader for those things. I just gave a pretty awesome keynote talk a couple weeks ago on the feasibility of AI. So if we want to touch on that at all today, it's a hot topic for myself.
Well, Alex is Mr. AI, so we obviously definitely want to dive into that. All right, Costa, before we dive into it, I'm always curious to know how people know Alex Zapp. It's always a crazy Alex Zapp story. So any Alex Zapp stories, how you met him, how you all learned about each other?
I think it was back in the Mercury days, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Early 2000s. It's been a while, but yeah, the heydays of Mercury. It was at some party, probably.
Zap party.
Yeah. Costa is a very experienced professional. He led a very sophisticated organization as far as QA and automation. I respect him a lot as a professional, and I'm very excited that he had time to join us today. Yeah, I want to get a very interesting conversation out of you.
Yeah, so Costa, Alex is pro AI, like almost overboard. So once again, you have a lot of experience, and a lot of people are on the fence on, yeah, it helps, but it doesn't replace everything. What are your thoughts? What was your session about? What are your high-level thoughts on AI in testing?
So it's interesting. I've had several clients that I've worked with over the last couple of years in pitching various AI solutions, and having lots of dialogue around and demonstrations as well, right, around what agentic AI is. There seems to be, a lot of customers are sitting on the sidelines. That's what I'm seeing. Not a lot of talk and a lot of interest and discussion and demonstrations, but not a lot of people pulling the trigger. And I feel very blessed that I actually have had a chance to be hands-on with a lot of this stuff. Certainly, I can see how great it is, and it's a lot of the benefits. There's pros and cons, obviously, but it's just perplexing that how many people are just not being active, with this stuff. So. And about 3 months ago, I was working with a client who had all these use cases, right? They were like, okay, Costa, we're going to jump all in with AI, but we have all of these use cases and we're not sure which ones we should do first, right? They were struggling with prioritizing which things they wanted to do from their wish list. So I created this thing called the AI feasibility framework. And that's what I gave my keynote talk on just a few weeks ago. What's interesting is, if you remember, there was a huge report that came out in late August from MIT. It was a study that said 95% of AI pilots are failing, right?
Yep.
And I thought, wow, this is couldn't have asked for a better tie-in to my topic, because that's exactly what this is about. When they dig into that report, one of the top 3 reasons was picking the wrong use case.
I love this. Alex, have you tried the framework? How does Zap?
We actually have our own framework, and we actually showed it to Costa a while back. I mean, he saw our ZAPTEST.AI one-click product. So I'm in line with Costa. I mean, the AI allows us to do significant things together. And again, the use case not adapted as reach as it should be because the dragon's still young. If you're still writing scripts to test software in 2025, you're not automating, you're just maintaining. ZAPTEST is the only automation platform powered by AI that sees your app like a human and executes like a fleet of machines. It works across everything: web, mobile, desktop, API, even test RPA, including the legacy tech no one wants to admit they still use. And you stop being the executive fighting fires and become the one scaling transformation like a beast. We're still riding it, and it's going to be a semi-agentic approach. We as the humans are going to learn how to trust the robots, right? How to trust AI. We had this conversation back in January. Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's an evolutionary process. I agree with that. So at ZAPTEST, what we do, we take requirements just to dump any part of the requirements. And our one-click builds for you any use cases, any test cases, take it further to automation. It's all done. 80% productivity increase. So basically for a team of 10 people, you can keep only 2 to drive the process, where one of them will be subject matter expert that understands the process, and another will be automation specialist like Automator. What we have on the market right now, we are pretty much right. And both of them need it only for assurance. They don't really need to do much manually. They just need to assure one part that, yes, AI did a good job. We agree with everything. If we need to do some patches, right, and another person going to assure that the AI generated the code precisely. And it all works, right? So all the sanity is adhered to, and that's it. So the other aid can automate even more. Imagine how much an organization can automate with the headcount that they have today. We are, as a professional for 30 years, all of us, we have the same experience. We're all from the same generation of the automation evangelists, right? And you probably agree with me that the overall, between the Gartner and whoever wants to report on that, we're maybe between 30 to 50% automation altogether, between DevOps and BizOps, between the test automation and RPA, right?